Okay, if you have generalized, diffuse, spread out aching muscle pain, that's a condition called fibromyalgia. You don't have a medical problem. You don't need to be medicalized, and there's nothing your doctor can do about it. We've been talking about fibromyalgia as a diagnosis that simply means muscle pain, fibromyalgia, muscle pain in the fibers. It's not a medical issue, but that's fine. We don't need doctors for fibromyalgia. Like all degenerative conditions, these are all lifestyle issues we can correct on our own. We've been talking about SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and its relationship to overall health. It should come as no surprise that SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and fibromyalgia go hand in hand. If you have intestinal problems, if you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth issues, you'll notice that when you eat sugar, when you eat sweets, when you eat breads, when you eat pastas, you'll just feel bloated, or you'll feel crampy, or you may get some pain in your abdominal area. These are classic signs of a bacterial issue, an overgrowth issue. And if you have fibromyalgia and you have these kinds of problems, guaranteed you're dealing with SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. There's also an interesting connection between bacteria in the gut, good bacteria and bad bacteria if they're overgrowing fibromyalgia, and the hormone estrogen. Most people who get fibromyalgia are women, and this especially affects women who have liver issues and who have digestive issues. That's because estrogen is processed by the liver, and once the liver becomes overloaded, incompletely processed or poorly processed estrogens can begin to accumulate, and this is a very, very, very bad thing. In fact, there's a class of incompletely processed estrogens that are like estrogens on steroids, and estrogen is already steroids. So you got mega estrogen, super estrogen, at least in terms of wreaking havoc, and these things show up as the liver starts to become compromised. In addition to causing all kinds of inflammatory and immune conditions, fiber-inducing conditions, fibromyalgia, fibroids, super estrogen is majorly carcinogenic, majorly blood clotting. If you're a scientist, you call these super estrogens catechol estrogens. But really, the main point is these are very aggressive, active estrogens that are responsible for the sense of emergency that manifests in the body as heart disease, circulatory problems, blood clots, strokes, autoimmune disease, and fibroids. I heard a doctor on TV a couple of days ago. I was waiting, getting my car fixed, and I was sitting in the waiting room. They had the TV on. I usually don't watch daytime TV, but I was watching this doctor show. And it makes me so angry to watch them. I try not to watch them, but I was kind of sitting in the waiting room, and I was listening to this doctor talk about the mystery of fibroids. And that's the medical position on these things. They're mysterious and they're unknown. As if because your doctor doesn't know or the medical model can't figure out, it's officially unknown. Well, it isn't unknown. Fibroids are caused by catechol estrogens, excess estrogens. And while a doctor may not understand this, researchers and biochemists know good and well that there's this major connection, maybe even a causal connection between catechol estrogens and out-of-control growth, out-of-control cell growth. These types of incompletely processed estrogens are linked to out-of-control cell growth, out-of-control cell processing, cells just going nuts, basically, producing fibers and producing fluids and growing out of control. This is what cancer is. This is what fibroids are. This is what cysts are. It's out of control cell growth, out of control cell behavior. Whether we're talking endometriosis or fibroids or cysts, all the obnoxious, ignorant, dangerous, and greedy and exploitative medical practices is near the top of the list is the use of surgery to address these kinds of chemistry issues. This is the reason I've always said that if you have a health challenge, you want to go to a biochemist, not a doctor. You don't need to be doctored. If you go to a medical doctor for a biochemical issue, if you go to a medical doctor for what is a chemistry problem, don't be surprised when you get doctored, that is, drugged or butchered. This is what the medical model specializes in, poisoning us and butchering us. Women will go to a doctor with fibroids and they'll leave without their uterus. They'll leave without their female organs. This is what doctors do. At least a third of hysterectomies are performed on women who simply have fibroids, who simply have a biochemical issue. If you're a woman and you have fibroids or cysts or endometriosis, and your OBGYN is telling you, as this pretty MD on television was saying, oh, we can do surgery to have them removed. It's no problem. It's just a very simple procedure. Please understand that anytime you have a surgical procedure done, not only are you not doing anything to address the problem, you haven't done anything to address the biochemical breakdown, but now you're going to be activating the stress response, which is what all surgeries do. When you get cut into in a surgical procedure, there's no routine surgery. Your body thinks it's being eaten by a tiger. It doesn't know it's in an operating room. It thinks it's being eaten alive. And it's going to release all the stress hormones that are causing the problem in the first place. Fibroids, cysts, endometriosis, gynaecological issues, catechol estrogens. These are all major indicators of a body in distress. And now the brain-dead medical model is going to put more stress on the body with a surgical procedure. All right, hang tight. We'll finish this up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. Okay, so we're talking fibromyalgia. If you've gone to the doctor and, or actually all female issues, if you've gone to the doctor and you have fibromyalgia, or you got cysts, or you got fibroids, understand it's not a doctor issue. There's nothing your doctor can do. But that doesn't matter because we can do it ourselves. We can take care of it ourselves with lifestyle issues. So what do you do non-medically, non-surgically to address these kinds of issues? Fibromyalgia, cysts, fibroids, endometriosis. Well, first of all, fire your MD, as my friend Dr. Glidden says. Fire your MD. This is your business. This is our business. These are lifestyle choices. And surprise, surprise, the first thing you want to do, focus on digestive health. Digestive health, gynecological issues, estrogen processing issues. And digestive disturbances go hand in hand, especially around fat malabsorption. There's a very, very important link between incompletely digested or incompletely processed estrogen and fat malabsorption, which should come as no surprise because the main fat processing organ is also the main estrogen processing organ, and that is the liver. The liver processes fats, the liver processes estrogens, the liver is a digestive structure as well as a hormone structure, and that means that if you have any kind of female gynecological issues, more than likely you're dealing with a liver issue, which means more than likely you're dealing with a fat malabsorption or fat processing issue of some kind. So pay attention to how you feel after eating fatty foods. That's the number one thing to do if you're dealing with any gynecological issue. Pay attention to how you feel after you eat fatty foods, and then use support for fat digestion. Lipase, that's a digestive enzyme for fats. You'll find that in the Ultimate Enzymes. Pancreatin. Love that stuff. Pancreatin is a complex of pancreatic enzymes. The pancreas makes fat digesting enzymes. The bulk of our fat digesting enzymes, some of it is in the saliva, but the large bulk of fat digestion enzymes are pancreatic. So pancreatin can help you. Use HCl drops, hydrochloric acid drops. You can have a compounding pharmacist make that for you. You might need a prescription, or you can go to the health food store and get HCl capsules. Apple cider vinegar can help also. Lecithin, spectacular supplement for helping process fats. Choline, methionine, anything you can think of to help improve fat absorption. And don't forget about the BioLumin Nightly Essence, which is a spectacular probiotic supplement. It's loaded with probiotics, with good bacteria, and it's got multiple strains of good bacteria. And it also has digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes, by the way, can not only help you process fats and help you with catechol estrogens and gynecological issues, they're also digestive enzymes can also help with circulatory issues and with inflammatory issues, which all are associated with gynecological problems. These are all non-doctor options that can not only help you keep your organs, but they can help keep you they can help you address the problem. The real problem, which is underlying. Yeah, the doctor can carve out your fibroids, and that's the latest thing now. They'll say, well, we don't have to do a whole hysterectomy, but we can just carve out the fibroids. Well, yeah, but that's not going to solve the problem, and fibroids come back. And many women end up with multiple surgeries, multiple times carving out the fibroids because nobody's addressing the problem. But if you go down to the core, which is very often in the digestive system, in the fat processing system, not only will that keep you from having to be carved up, but you're really going to get to the core of the problem, which is going to reduce the likelihood of further degenerative disease, further autoimmune problems, and ultimately cancer as well, and ultimately heart disease, because it's all one package. Fatty vitamins are also important. Catechol can be balanced out by vitamin A and vitamin E. Vitamin A is so important for helping balance out estrogen. And same with vitamin E. 20,000 international units of vitamin A, 400 international units a day of vitamin E. Here's the thing about these two important fatty vitamins. If you got a liver problem, chances are you're not going to be absorbing your vitamin A and your vitamin E, which means now you got a further deficiency issue. So you're going to be, if you have gynaecological issues, you're already probably going to be deficient, and now you have fat malabsorption issues, further problems. So vitamin A, vitamin E, minerals like zinc can be helpful. Zinc is very important for liver health. 50 milligrams a day of zinc. I like zinc picolinate a day. Zinc picolinate. Then you want to build glutathione. There's a really important relationship between glutathione and liver health. Glutamine, the amino acid glutamine, can help you build glutathione. And acetylcysteine, unbelievable nutrient for all liver health issues, as we've said so many times. NAC is actually liver medicine in the emergency room. If you go to the emergency room with liver poisoning, it's part of the emergency room protocol for helping with liver poisoning. So you can use NAC. Selenium, also important. Selenium's got a tremendous estrogen balancing property. Any estrogen issues, or estrogenic issues, catechol estrogen issues, fibromyalgia, cysts, endometriosis, any of these, you want to focus on the ultimate selenium, 200 to 400, even up to 600 micrograms a day. Selenium is like a little battery that helps fuel glutathione, which is the body's most important, or one of the body's most important detoxifying substances. Vitamin C, also very important. You see what I'm saying here, folks? You've got all of these wonderful strategies that have nothing to do with a doctor, nothing to do with a medical model. They're strictly lifestyle choices. If you have any female health issues, regardless of where in the body they are. They could be PMS, it could be migraine headaches, it could be fibroids in the breast, it could be in your reproductive organs, or it could be in the liver, whatever. Any kind of estrogen issues, female health issues, there's tremendous medical strategies that can keep you out from under the knife and can actually get to the core of the problem so they don't progress. So SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and gynecological issues are two peas in a pod, and you throw in blood sugar issues, they're three peas in a pod, and that means all female health problems. If you go to the OBGYN for any of these issues, you are playing with fire, and if you take their medical advice for what are really lifestyle and digestive issues, you're more than likely going to get burnt. If you want to simplify the whole gynecological picture, if you want to cut to the chase, this is what it is: stress, burden. There's two kinds of burdens on the body. There's two kinds of stressors on the body. You've got negative stressors and you've got positive stressors. Negative burdens and positive burdens. A negative burden is something you're not doing or something you're not getting. A positive burden is something that you are doing, something you are putting into your system. And they're both important when it comes to female health issues. When it comes to all health issues, all degenerative diseases are the manifestations of a body in distress. It's like our baby. Our baby's crying. It's as simple as that. Negative burdens, things you're not doing, get on the Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients. Get on the Healthy Start Pack. Use all the fat absorption aids and fat digestion aids that we just talked about. Positive burdens, relax, lighten up. Get rid of your stressors. Hang tight. We'll finish up when we come back from our break and take your phone calls as well. 855-660-4261 is... Let's see here. We're talking about fibromyalgia and gynecological conditions. There's a whole bunch of things you could do if you have any of these issues. And the one thing you don't want to do, or you don't need to do, is interface with the medical model. They're not medical issues. They're lifestyle issues for the most part. We talked about all kinds of supplements. Fat digestion supplements are really what you want to focus on. Balancing out estrogen with fatty vitamins, vitamin A and E, using glutathione, building strategies, N-acetylcysteine, selenium. These are all going to be very helpful for all female health issues. But the bottom line is, female health issues, like all health issues, like all degenerative health issues, are the manifestations of a body in distress. So, there's two kinds of stressors. You got the kind of stressors that are negative stressors, things you're missing, and they're the kind of stressors that are positive stressors, things you're doing to your body. Emotional stressors and psychological stressors clearly are important, but there's also physical stressors. Sugar is a big, major stressor. Processed food, major stressor. Fats, processed fats, trans fats, major stressors, because we're talking about a fat problem. And if you start putting in trans fatty acids, hydrogenated fats, margarine fats, cinnamon bun fats, processed food fats, you're just adding to the burden. See what I'm saying here, folks, is I don't want to be Mr. Health guy here, but the point is that our bodies are getting carved up by the medical model. We're getting drugged and we're getting poisoned, and nothing's helping. And these are things that we can do ourselves. Simply by reducing your intake of processed foods, reducing your intake of refined carbohydrates and sugars, reducing your intake of fructose, which is a major health burden on the liver, especially high fructose corn syrup products, and using the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, getting on the Healthy Start Pack, getting on Biolumin Nightly Essence, using fermented foods. These are all things we can do ourselves. We can save our money, we can save our bodies, and we can really be getting to the core of the problem. All right, on our next Bright Side episode, we are going to continue talking about SIBO, and we're going to talk about the link between mental health and small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, especially when it comes to a disease, or I don't want to say a disease, but a health condition that is now becoming an epidemic. 1 out of 15,000 people suffered from this particular condition back when I was in pharmacy school. Now it's 1 out of 68. It's gone from 1 out of 15,000 to 1 out of 68 in 30 years or so, and it is a big problem, and there's a major link between it and small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and this is an issue that affects our children, and we'll talk about this on Monday on our next Bright Side episode. Okay, 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's go to Texas and welcome Kyle to the Bright Side. Good morning, Kyle. What's up, bro? Hello, Kyle. Kyle? Hey,
yeah,
Kyle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up?
I'm calling about high blood pressure.
Okay, simple, easy peasy. You want to lower your blood? Is it for you? You sound like a youngster.
Yes,
you sound young.
I'm 44.
And you got high blood pressure? Got hypertension?
Well, yeah, they're saying that maybe I need to start taking some medicine for it.
Oh, really? That's what they're saying?
Yeah.
Do you know that high blood pressure drugs are among the deadliest and nastiest and most toxic drugs of all? And that's saying something because there's a lot of deadly, nasty, toxic drugs. If you have high blood pressure, first of all, high blood pressure is a classic sign of the stress response. That means you got to figure out what's causing the stress. Like I was just saying, there's negative stressors and there's positive stressors. But here's the thing about these high blood pressure drugs, okay? If you have, you have your circulatory system, right? And you got vessels that are spread out throughout the body, right? And blood is getting out to all the extremities from your head to your toes and to your fingertips, all throughout the extremities, correct? You follow what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
High blood pressure is a manifestation of the blood vessels at the extremities closing up, and somehow the blood is not being pushed out far enough and the pressure is building up. So what they'll do is to give you a high blood. Does that make sense how I explain that? The extremities, the blood vessels are closing, so the pressure is starting to build up in the center of the body. So what the brain dead medical model will do is they'll shut down your circulatory system. They'll shut down the pressure. They'll slow down the heart. They'll literally poison your heart. Now, who came up with this idea? Now, that's not they'll usually give you a diuretic first, and that poisons your kidneys. It poisons your kidneys, so it changes how fluids are handled. But then they'll give you a beta blocker drug or a calcium channel blocker drug, which literally poisons the heart. Now, who thinks this is a good idea to poison the heart? Ask your doctor about that when he tells you, oh, we're going to put you on this nice little beta blocker drug or calcium channel blocker drug. Ask him, Doc, isn't that going to poison my heart? See what he says, and then say, Doc, is that a good idea? Really? Don't I need my heart? Isn't that important? Did you ask him that?
I did say that. Yeah, he said that, it's minimal side effects.
Oh, it's a minimal poison. It's just a little poison. Okay, I don't want to beat him.
Let's do it naturally.
Well, let's do it naturally. Here's number one, what you want to do. Deep breathing. Oxygenation. Make sure you're getting oxygen into the bloodstream by practicing deep breathing techniques. That's step number one for hypertension. Step number two is nutritional supplements that help the entire body, but especially that help the circulatory system. And most importantly, the B vitamins, especially niacin. All the B vitamins are extremely important for blood pressure issues, and you'll get those in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You might want to throw in a little bit of extra niacin. 100 milligrams or 200 milligrams of timed release niacin. That's the best way to get your niacin. That's the second thing you want to do. So first you want to deep breathe. Secondly, you want to do the B vitamins. The third is magnesium. Magnesium is a superstar, it's a superstar mineral for everything, but it's a superstar mineral for the circulatory system. It will relax the blood vessels very, very effectively. Get on the OsteoMag. You also probably want to get a little calcium, so make sure you're using the entire Mighty 90, a healthy start pack in general. Then you want to focus on digestive health, especially when it comes to sugar. If you're not processing sugar correctly and your insulin is whacked out and you're starting to get into elevated insulin problems, that's going to affect your blood pressure. Insulin problems and blood sugar problems and hypertension also go hand in hand. So focus on sugar intake. Number one, reducing sugar intake. Eating more protein is the best way to do that. And then also using nutrients that help you metabolize sugar. Chromium and vanadium, the sweeties, can be very helpful for hypertension issues and for blood sugar issues as well. So you got lots of options here, and then a few other miscellaneous ones. Omega-3 fatty acids are also important for hypertension, and most of us get way too much omega-6s compared to omega-3s. You'll get your omega-6s and your omega-3s from the Ultimate Essential Fatty Acids. These are all wonderful strategies for lowering blood pressure. Last but most certainly not least, focus on any foods that cause digestive distress. When your body goes into any kind of stress response, including digestive distress, your blood pressure is going to go up. So if you have food allergies, food intolerances, link your digestive problems to specific foods and eliminate those foods. Okay? Yeah.
Well, yeah. One quick thing. I also have IBS, and I've basically gone macrobiotic.
Well, hang tight. I'll talk about that. That's what I was just saying. Digestive problems cause general stress, and that'll cause hypertension. IBS is absolutely linked to hypertension. Hang tight, Kyle. And if you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll be back after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side, talking to Kyle in Texas. We got Kyle. Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so the last thing you said was IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and then you said the macrobiotic diet, right? You're on the macro.
Well, basically, I don't want to take in too much time from anything, but I've been just trying everything. Like I meditate. I've been really strict with the diet. And
how's the IBS? Is the IBS? Is it working?
Well, I'm barely getting that stuff to budge, is all, and that's why I'm just getting frustrated. Like, what do I?
Don't get frustrated. The macrobiotic diet. The macrobiotic diet, as I understand, is a grain diet, grain and veggies. Is that what you're talking about?
Basically, yeah. I mean,
that's not good, bro. That's going to mess you up. That's going to mess up the bowel thing.
Okay.
Stay off of the grains. Grains and bowel problems are they go hand in hand. You got to stay off the grains, and the macrobiotic diet is also you don't get any butter or any animal products, so you're not going to get your vitamin A, which is very important for the bowels. You don't have a hypertension problem. You got a bowel problem, and it's causing the hypertension. You follow? Don't even worry about the hypertension until you get the bowel problem straightened out. If your dumb doctor, excuse me, I shouldn't say that. If your doctor told you he's going to put you on a blood pressure drug and he hasn't fixed your irritable bowel syndrome, you need another doctor. You should do this yourself. Focus on foods, and I'm going to let you go after this, Kyle, because I got some other calls I want to get to. You need to get this bowel thing under control by focusing on the foods that are causing the problem. Write down every single morsel you put in your mouth, every single food you put in your mouth, and then write down in the notebook how you feel, digestive-wise, or how your bowel movements are, gas, bloating, fatigue, headaches, anything, after you eat that food, okay? And do it every 2 hours or so. So you eat a food, write it down in the book, and then 2 hours later, how you feel. 4 hours later, how you feel. 6 hours later, how you feel. 8 hours later, how you feel. All the way up to 10 hours, and you keep a running tab of the foods, and you link them all up to how you feel. You follow me? Is this making sense, Kyle? Kyle? Okay, well, we lost Kyle. So if you're listening, Kyle, you want to write down everything you eat. Are you there? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm here. I said thank you very much.
Okay, good. Did that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. And then get on the Biolumin Nightly Essence as soon as possible. It's very important that you start to restore the gut bacteria. With IBS, you probably have a big problem with your gut bacteria, and that can cause all kinds of issues. Okay, so you treat your hypertension and all your other symptoms as a digestive problem, as an IBS issue. Thanks so much for your call, Kyle. I appreciate that. How can a doctor do that? How can a medical professional talk about drugs to a guy who has IBS without addressing the bowel issues? For the life of me, I cannot figure out what is going through these medical professionals' minds. Sandy in Wisconsin, welcome to The Bright Side. What's up?
Thank you. You often talk about magnesium, but you never specify
the type,
what kind of a magnesium. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the best way to get.
I am taking magnesium primarily for migraines, which has helped me immensely.
Good deal.
But yeah, wanted to find out from you and all your wisdom what type.
Okay, well, there's definitely various types of magnesium, so your question is definitely appropriate. Magnesium is best found. The best way to get magnesium, let's be clear right now, is in foods, and the best way to get everything is in foods. The problem is we don't know where the foods are grown, the plants are grown, and so we don't know how much nutrients are in the plants. But magnesium is a little bit easier to detect because it's green. So when you see a dark green vegetable like kale or broccoli, that's going to be magnesium, and the more green you have, the more magnesium it's going to have. So look for dark green leafy veggies. That's the best way to get your magnesium. If you want to supplement with magnesium, which I do recommend people do, the OsteoMag from Longevity is a liquid magnesium, and that's a very effective form of magnesium. I like magnesium citrate, and I also like magnesium chelates. So magnesium aspartate, for example, or magnesium glycinate, if you can find that. These are forms of magnesium that are attached to amino acids that are very well handled by the body. So the best way to get your magnesium is in foods. The next best way is going to be liquid magnesium, like the OsteoMag from Longevity, and then you want to look for magnesium chelates. There's also a chelated form of magnesium called magnesium malate, which can be especially helpful for folks who have fibromyalgia. Both malic acid and magnesium can have some nice effects on pain, anti-inflammatory effects for pain. So those are the different kinds of magnesium, and that was a very important question. I'm glad you asked that. Did that help, ma'am?
Okay. Yes, it does. And I am taking the citrate because I do take the supplement daily. Also, another question for you. You were talking about women's health problems and this kind of thing, and estrogen. I was taking black cohosh when I was going through menopause, which helped me a lot, or at least I believe that's what helped me a lot with hot flashes and that kind of thing. Never went on any kind of supplement through my doctor at all, but was wondering your views on black cohosh.
I don't like working with herbs. I mean, I do like working with herbs from a medicinal standpoint, but the problem with black cohosh and red clover and dong quai and vitex and all these different herbs that they use for female health issues is they put a burden on the liver. And the liver is the primary, as we were saying earlier, it's your primary hormone processing structure. So now you've got extra things for your liver to do, and very often the liver's already burdened. So I tend to stay away from those kinds of things, especially for female health issues, because you're already going to have a liver problem, and nobody has a black cohosh deficiency. Nobody has a Vitex deficiency. Nobody has a Dong Quai deficiency, but you do very often have a vitamin A deficiency, an essential fatty acid deficiency, vitamin C deficiency. See where I'm going here? Magnesium deficiency. These are primary. And so, yes, maybe you'll get some medicinal properties from these herbs, but now you've put a further burden on your detox system, and you haven't solved the problem. By the way, hot flashes are a classic sign of a body in distress. So, and they could very well be related to problems with these catechol, these toxic estrogens. That's where you want to focus on for all menopausal symptoms, my opinion. Does that help, Sandy?
So what do you recommend other than getting shots and all these? Like I said, I never went through it, so I...
What I recommend here is work on the liver and work on the digestive system. Work specifically on the liver is a digestive organ, so work with the digestive system. That means all the things we talked about in the beginning of the program: probiotics, selenium, essential fatty acids, magnesium, glutathione building, N-acetylcysteine. There's a zillion things. The B vitamins. There's so many ways that we can address female health issues, but focus on the digestive system and focus on the liver, which is, of course, a digestive organ. That's the main structures that you want to pay attention to. And it's the same with every health issue. Digestion first. Always, 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 always. I don't care what the health issue is, focus on the digestive system first. I got to move, Sandy. Thank you so much. Okay. God bless you. I appreciate your comments as well. All right, Rose in Virginia, welcome to the bright side. Haven't talked to you for a while. What's going on, Rose?
Hi, Ben. We always love you. Appreciate it. You're a blessing.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well.
Oh, thank you. How would I say? My prayers of love for you. I have a comment, and I agree with you. You know, it's horrendous. You know, and I'm an intercessor, so I'm praying too. I'm fighting the spiritual end of that.
Okay.
I have a relative, you know, that he was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I heard what you have said.
Okay.
And the horrible thing was that they bombarded her with these prescribed medicines.
Oh. What did they give her? They gave her antidepressants or pain pills? What did they give her?
Yeah, any different things. I haven't spoken to her directly, but through one of my aunts, that she's a retired nurse, and she told me the whole, every so often she tells me what's going on. And so
Rose, we're going to run out of time. I only got a minute.
Yeah.
You got to. What? Can I help you?
The situation is there that I agree with you. There is some kind of agreement with the medical establishment and the pharmaceuticals. Anyway, they did a pacemaker, put a pacemaker in her. So I'll have her contact you. Okay?
Please do, Rose. They put a pacemaker in her for fibromyalgia?
After, because of all the damage that all these medicines.
Oh my God! I'm telling you, that's why I do this program, Rose. And you know what? I'm not going to stop. I will not rest until the day I die. I will not rest. I'm going to expose this scandal that's killing us, that is absolutely robbing us of our lives and of our vitality and our health. Our health processes, our health system is robbing us of our health. It's ripping us off. It's stealing our lifeblood from us, our vitality from us. It's so egregious. It's so awful. And don't worry about it. I'm not going to rest until I've exposed every last drop of this scandalous medical model. All right. Thanks so much, Rose. We got to move. I appreciate your call very much, and I appreciate your kind words. All right. Apologize if you know what? I'm going to try to get one more call in here. Chris in Texas. What's up? We got about 30 seconds here. You know what, Chris? Chris, I'm so sorry. We don't even have that. I apologize, bro. Call me on Monday or send me an email, ben@ksco.com. Put your phone number in there, and I'll answer your question personally. We'll call on Monday, and we can talk about your question here on the air. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, friends. On our next Brightside episode, we're going to talk about the link between this very important health condition that affects our children, and it's an epidemic, and its relationship to the digestive system, specifically to bacteria, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth bacteria in the gut. Have yourselves a wonderful, awesome, beautiful day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.